Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Junkyard Digs. Today we're here in Ames, not too far from our shop, and we're here to revive this. Not actually that. Buried back there is a Ford Thunderbird that was given to us for free. We're going to see if we can get it running, pull it out of this pile of junk, and drive it home. Today's video was brought to you by Squarespace. Stick around to see how you can get 10% off your first purchase. I'm here with Junkyard Mook today. My brother Jesse's filming. We're gonna have a good time. We got a big old pad of concrete. Maybe try to do a burnout before we leave. So we're gonna set into digging this thing out and get to work on getting it running. Let's begin. All right. So the story on this sucker. My buddy Jed, who owns Central Iowa Diesel Performance. It was a family member of his. They passed away. It was handed off to another family member. They had some complications come up. This, that, the title went from hand to hand, and now it's gone. So, this car currently does not have a title. It's been sitting here for, I don't know, when's it last registered? 2013, so it hasn't been on the road for 7 years. So I guess step one is going to be dig this sucker out a little bit to where we can at least get to the engine bay and then see if we can drive it from its current grave. Tires all hold air, so even though it's not been on the road in 7 years, I bet it's been ran or at least moved around since then. So I'd say it probably hasn't ran in at least 5. Not a crazy, like, old revival for us, but right here in town and it's a free car, so we're still gonna do it. All right, let's dig her out. It's fine. Really full. I think I can just roll it. Oh, let's set this over here for now. Vinyl tops. It's a free car, you know? Okay, I found the front. Mook, can you hop in and put it in neutral? Okay, here we go. It's in neutral, right? Is the parking brake on? I guess I just gotta push extra hard. Oh my god! Is the brake pedal stuck? Leverage. There it goes. Car, they said. This should be pretty easy, they said. Okay, a little more. That's good enough. Yeah, thumbs up. Ooh. Pull the lever. Let me in. Let me in. Hey. There's no hood thing. Oh, where's that stick? I lost me stick. Wow, that's a big battery. Look at this battery. That is an absolute tractor battery. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, there's no carburetor. Well, there's a good thing I have a few spare 2-barrel Ford carburetors. Alright, so it looks like we're looking at a 302 with a DuraSpark ignition system. Air condition. I do not see... No, there is a smog pump, damn it. Power steering, power brakes, cruise control, Smog-O-Matic 302. One thing I didn't bring was a vacuum cleaner. It's full of mouse poop. We're missing one carb stud. Okay. So we got a little bit of work cut out for us to make sure this thing's going to fire up. We got a hard line here for the fuel. 1,000 million vacuum lines. A radiator, obviously, which is half empty. I didn't bring any water. Didn't think of that. The darkest power steering fluid I've ever seen in my life.
Look at all that goo.
What the hell? It's full of metal, so I'm sure this might need replaced. But as you can tell, if you know anything about Fox bodies, this right here is the telltale sign of a Fox body chassis, is these shock towers. And they usually rust out right down here. They'll usually all rust right here if you're ever looking for a Fox or a Thunderbird. Check that. This one, absolutely rock solid. There's still paint on everything. This is probably the cleanest example of a Fox chassis I've ever seen out in the wild. Crikey, it's a Thunderbird. See if we can get it running. You gotta sneak up on it. Rah! See, it didn't start. Some bitch. Alright, let's go get a battery from our Tank Tools toolbox. Hey look, it's the Tank Tools toolbox. Hey look, batteries. Damn, what a convenience. Random dual post I had laying around. Always here for a good time. Alright, well, nothing's immediately on fire. Things are looking good. Make sure there's nothing in the intake that we're gonna... Oh, there is.
Really?
Yeah. There's a bunch
nice.
A bunch of mouse poop in it. So we'll have to clean that out before we can see if it cranks. But, yeah. Let's move on into the interior and see what works. Wow, this thing is nice. Look at this dash. It's beautiful. It's like perfectly clean. Can't be driving around with my center console open. Oh no, guys, we can't have this car. The center console doesn't work. What the hell are these? I've never had a car this nice. Insurance card for a 1982 Thunderbird. Alright. I got nothing. I'm gonna go wiggle the battery post. Okay. Oh, hello, wasp.
Go there.
Don't mess with me. Oh. Well, he's pissed. Everything's fine.
Did you piss off the wasp next to me?
Sorry. Reckless endangerment. Alright, let's see if this tiny battery works. Copyright! Ah! Everything's fine. Oh, my door does. Oh, wow. They weren't kidding when they said they hit it with a skid loader. So this is a. I'm not good at reading, but what's that say? Is it Landau?
Yeah, I think so. D-A-U.
Let's just call it the town land boat.
No. Okay.
Do we have a fan? Oh. Nothing comes out anywhere. It smells like dead mice. Yep.
Probably is.
It's probably a mouse house in there, so it's probably just clogged. It's got a rear defrost, radio, AC. Oh, It's got the 9-mile mirror adjuster. Oh. I do this, and that does that. SOS, I bought a piece of crap for free. Help me. Windows? That's a no on that side. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hi. What's up? Whoa. That's the original color. We got
tape.
A danger triangle. Yep, there's some tape. A spare. All the stuff to change a spare. A nice mouse nest. Or tape. Here, put this on your head.
Why? What's wrong with you?
So as you saw, we got a bunch of mouse poop down in the intake. We need to get that out. I didn't bring my shop vac. We don't have a source of power. There's other ways than sucking to... Just watch. I'm gonna take a little engine oil. I would prefer grease. I don't have any. I'm just gonna lay it here on the ABS molded top for this Tang Tools box. I'm gonna soak my rag just a bit. I don't want it like oily, but I want it tacky. There we go. Not gonna work as well as grease, but it's all we got. If you ever lose a bolt and you can't reach it and you just have a screwdriver and some grease, you can put grease on the end of your screwdriver and do the same method. It just makes this sticky enough to stick to shit. Literally, shit. So if your oily rag fails and there's still a bunch of big heavy stuff down the bottom, get the needle nose out, I guess, and spend the next 6 minutes of my life fishing poop out of a 2-barrel intake. I'm like fishing poop out of poop. When does the poop end? Where does the poop go? You know, where does
life revolves around poop a lot?
That's the question we have. We've learned carburetors, we've learned engines. We just want to know, where does our poop go, you know?
There's no we in this question.
Me and Luke.
It's him and Luke. As far as this crowd goes, though, it's him.
I mean, like, you poop, it goes away, right? And then it goes to a processing station. And then they get all the solids and the liquids separated, and the liquids are treated and returned back to the environment. Where do the solids go?
This is quality content.
Is there some farmer out there putting human poop all over his field? Like, ah, yes, crops.
Craps for crops.
Alright, so this is the last of the poop. I should be concerned about if mice have been building a nest down in the intake runners, but I'm not. So, yeah, we're just gonna put a carb on this thing and see if she cranks. Actually, I guess now we can just see if it cranks. Alright, go for it. Quick tap. Oh, hang on. Try it?
Try it again?
Yep. Alright, go ahead, try it. Oh, try it again. Weird noises. Alright, here, I'll do it from out here now. Today's problem is going to be batteries, I can already tell. So before we can go much farther, we want to make sure we have spark and figure all this out. Wow, this one's tight. Looking at the bottom of our cap and rotor, she is pretty crusty, as you can tell. So I'm going to go through with a razor blade and something, piece of sandpaper, and clean all these up. Clean this guy right here, this is your center point. Clean our rotor. Oh boy, that vacuum advance is sticky. Let's see if we can get him freed up. There he goes. I'm sure the mechanical advance underneath it is also junk because this is a Duraspark. You gotta pull this cap, all these plates, all these screws off, all this stuff off the shaft just to get to the advanced weights and springs. It's terrible. We're not gonna mess with that stuff too much unless it starts really giving us issues. We're just gonna hope this Hall effect sensor works. Usually they do. Usually it's the Duraspark boxes that fail on these Duraspark systems. I've actually, now that I said that, I've had one of those coils right here, these pickup coils for the Hall effect, failed before. And what it would do is the truck, this one over here, would crank and nothing, and then when I'd let off the key, it'd go pop. Or if I just turned the key on when it was sitting, or turned the key on and off, and there was a cylinder that was on the compression and charged, it would spark that one plug and like turn backwards or forward a little bit. But it wouldn't run. So if you ever had that happen, replace this Hall effect sensor right here. For us, we're just going to clean up the cap and rotor, put everything back on, shoot a little carb cleaner down the intake, and see if our electronics or everything are working. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get crafty, do some hot wiring, some shortcuts, bypass this and that until we get spark.
I feel like a dentist.
Alright, this is all cleaned up. I'm going to not pull the mistake we've done 1,000 times. I'm going to put the rotor in before I put the cap on and then get confused why we don't have spark. This has definitely been hitting. You can see that as it's come across, it's ground the actual cap down every time it touches. So I've seen that happen a few times. I've never seen it cause a huge problem. What it will do is it'll make some weird noises like and maybe move the cap around. So it's just geometry issues. Maybe someone's got the wrong rotor in here or the wrong cap for the base. I don't know. But we're going to put this back on. There we go. And now shoot some liquid down there and see if it runs. Or lights off, I guess. For simplicity's sake, usually we'll run a 12-volt wire from this positive to right here on the positive of the coil. But since this is a DuraSpark, it's actually a little more invasive. It's still not hard. If you ever need to start one of these without a key, just run from 12 volts to the red feed line right here. I believe it is this red one. Google it before you do it to make sure. But this is the ground and positive. I believe these two are the AC in, and then one of these is coil interruption, and one of these is some other shit, like power. I don't know. But Hall effect sensors are simply a sensor that sees a magnet pass, makes an AC current, produces a ground in that module, grounds the coil, spark. It's like a really complicated point system that loves to fail. Okay, Mook, tap the key. Make sure you're not in front of it. Oh, hang on. Forgot. Alright, go for it. A little more. Crank it. Stop. Woo, that was close. We about had the ultimate wide open throttle scenario of the fuel pump perfectly throwing fuel into the intake. So hey, our fuel pump works. How's our fuel smell? Really not bad. Hopefully they just didn't put ethanol in it and we're good to go. We will capture some of that in a container to make sure it's good before we pump it into our good carburetor. I'm going to take this sweet custom-made gasket off. Oh, to reveal an actual gasket. This one's all sharpied out and cut out of gasket material. We got double underneath too. Kind of sounds like they do. Hang on. Ah, yes. Carburetor gasket. This one is okay. He's not cracked like this upper one. This washer has to go. I don't think this ran. At least not very good. Very lean if it did, because of how bad this gasket would have leaked.
Okay. We're gonna take these seat covers off.
Oh, you don't like my sporty seat covers?
No. Oh. Not sorry. This seat looks pretty good actually. Should we try the driver's one?
Probably on there for a reason. If I had to guess, the driver's junk.
Well, I'm guessing that as well, but I want to see it.
That's fair. Me too.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Lovely. Fixed.
So I've spent like way too long trying to get this rock hard gaskets off, and I got about halfway through this one and went, this is terrible, and then realized I'd have to take this one off too. I already cut myself like 3 times. We're just gonna... Okay. So I'm missing a carb stud on the motor now. I've got this one. I'm sure these are all way too long without a spacer. So we're gonna have to figure that one out, you know. But we'll get there. I don't need this other homemade gasket on here because I'm gonna be using a real one. That is a weird looking intake. I think I see why I have to have the spacer now suddenly. This is the hardest gasket I've seen in my life. I just turned the carbon. What are you doing back there?
Nothing.
I hate cutting gaskets.
You're doing so good.
We're just gonna get a bunch of these for if we ever have kids and they start acting up. Just be like,
Make them do that.
you have to scrape this clean now. Okay, so there went a half hour of my life, if not more. But we got one side of this gasket off. This side's still imprinted and still on. So I'm gonna take what was once under this carburetor and match it to it because it's like the inverse of itself. So it should seal pretty well. And we're gonna put it down because we don't care. This thing's stupid. Wait, what did it say? Top front. So this way and then this way. And then I forgot to put the stud on, so we're actually gonna do that first. What?
Nothing.
Oh. But.
I thought it was pretty fitting.
Yeah. Is cross-threading or just poorly made?
Yes.
Why is there one missing stud? Is it? Do we see it sitting around? There was something on this rail.
I saw that too.
Oh my gosh, there it is. Not. Yes? Yes. Aha! You guys are the world's greatest detectives.
We know.
Alright. Something tells me that wasn't the right bolt. It's not. The threads are destroyed. Damn it. It's fine. You know, it's minor details. Our spacer. Freshly inverted. Our nice KMJ performance spacer. Oh shit. Just tell me it's backwards, right? I have it on upside down. Yay! Okay. It's only like a 1/4 inch off, so I couldn't tell it wasn't symmetrical. And today for a carburetor, we're going to be employing the use of a 2-barrel Holly that I've borrowed from Thunderhead. Don't tell them. This is a completely conditioned, unknown carburetor, so not usually what I suggest to do at all, but yeah, this will be fine, I'm sure. I think this is actually a brand new carb that's never been ran, which leads me to remember I should probably set the transfer slots and stuff. If Luke owns this, it's probably all perfect. Okay, our mixer screws are set to 2 out, transfer slots are a square, got all of our ports plugged. We've looked over the intake, checked for all the vacuum leaks here. We got this guy, I think he goes to the flapper on the air intake, so I'm not too worried about him. We're just gonna plug him with, okay, there, that's plugged. Get some bolts, bolt this down, sort out our fuel situation, figure out what the hell this thing is. I don't even know. Well, I thought I brought 4 nuts for this, but I only brought 2. The other 2 were coarse thread. This one's cross-threaded from this thing being on it. So we found 1 more nut. We're up to 3 nuts, and 1 or 2 work. Yay.
So I think here's their other.
Oh, you guys find it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Here we go. 4 bolts.
Yay.
Now we just need to do throttle linkage. And, oh, we don't have a clip for this guy.
It's in the poop.
For the kickdown. Dang it. Do you see a clip for the kickdown laying around in there?
I will dig through the poop.
Okay, so there's our carb. I noticed this is a PCV car. We're going to pull this PCV out, flush it out with brake clean. If I don't break it in half. To make sure that's just one less vacuum leak we're going to have. And then we're going to see if our fuel's actually any good. And then put fuel to it somehow. Somehow being the fact that I got to do a 90 right here. So, yay!
Oh my.
Ew. I usually change these in cars. I clean them out about every month and then change them about every 2 or 3 oil changes in your carbureted cars, because they will gum up and leak and not let stuff through at the right time and cause issues like vacuum leaks and just all sorts of fun. Okay, so I'm trying to get whatever the hell this is out of my way, and I just found a bunch of vacuum issues. This is the one shitty part about these 80s cars, and just stock Fords, because Ford was like, hey, this engine makes vacuum, let's just run everything on vacuum. Basically vacuum powered cars. They suck themselves forward. There we go. Okay, get rid of that. Oh my, what is this? This is a Q-tip shoved into the end of a pipe. Okay, I think we're ready to hook a hose up to this fuel line and check the quality of whatever the hell is in the tank. Gas. I'm going to run it off the can so we get a little more RPM to pump some gas out. Go ahead. Did you get anything? Nothing. Alright, go again. It doesn't look that bad. I think this fuel's probably okay. We'll just put a filter in line and call it good. What I am concerned about is it doesn't sound like we're attempting to hit on all 8 cylinders for whatever reason. If that's fouled plugs, old plugs, bad plugs, ignition issues, I don't know. But we'll see. Alright, let's set up a fuel system. That's the last shitty hose clamp from Harbor Freight for this fuel system. It should be good to go now. We got a filter in line after the pump to catch anything that's been sitting in the pump. I'll zip tie this down out of the way. Actually, I probably won't. It's probably just fine. Right, let's throw the booster pack, which has hopefully been charging over there, back on this and see if it's enough to fill this bowl up and get this thing running. Didn't sound like it was hitting on all the cylinders before, so I won't be surprised if we still have to pull some plugs and put new plugs in. But that's fine. I've got new plugs over at the shop. Let's go grab them. But let's try this. To give this thing a snowball's chance in hell, I'm going to put a couple gallons of fresh gas in here to mix with the old stuff. And you know, then it'll probably be okay. That's how science works. Nothing else. If we have to drain the tank, it'll give me something to flush it out with. You guys come here often, or no? Awkward. Oh, that's why they're vacuum. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work still. You know what? We don't have very much battery. We should probably use something to pre-fill that bowl. We need a container. Yes. Someone's Coca-Cola can. Perfect. Alright, we got our nice custom shaped Coca-Cola can. Nothing cools you off like a Coke. Oh god, there's already gas everywhere. I'm sure this will go excellent. I'm trying to fill this vent bowl. Yeah, no. Eee. Oh my god, it's working. Oh, it's full now because it came out the boosters. Alright, we got accelerator pumps. Go ahead.
Sorry.
What is this? Is it gas? Is
Farm fuel.
Is it? I thought, well, farm diesel's red. I don't know if farm gas is blue. It might be. I guess we'll find out if it burns. Hopefully no one like put something in the tank, but what it could be is a fuel stabilizer.
Did you see your clock is working?
The clock works?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Mook.
Alright.
Fire it up. Works somewhat. That's our first small block Ford revival.
And it runs on Kool-Aid.
It runs on great blueberry juice. There it is. The 82 Thunderbird now runs. First start in a few years. Got to get the cobwebs out of it. But then it started to run fine. Sits here in idles, revs out pretty good. Serpentine belt didn't snap. Clutch fan feels good. Okay, we got our vacuum advance hooked up to ported now. Just up here on a Holly. Go ahead and see if she cranks. Much more reasonable idle. Just like that, you rip way back. Lot of blow by. Wow. Holy blow by. Alright, shut it down. So I think she might be getting a little warm too sitting here. So let's go get some water, throw it in it. Obviously we have an amount of blow-by, so I don't know how healthy this motor is. But we're gonna go grab what we need to take her for a cruise. I guess I parked in my own way, so we're gonna move this to get that out, to go get the stuff to get this out, and that, yeah. Oh, that's hot. So, the brake pedal goes all the way to the floor. And then they like hung it first, but then they started working. So, just out of curiosity. Okay, it's full. Yay. That means, are these drums?
Back here they are.
Discs up front, drums in the rear. That might mean that the rear drum adjusters just aren't working. So all my brake pedals getting used up. If that's the case, pretty easy to fix. Alright, let's go get the stuff. Okay, it was lower than I thought, I'll admit. Oh, that's from over there. It's cooling in it. You didn't crack the block. Well, I mean, there's a lesser chance it cracked the block. Just gonna science this on there. Boom. Scienced. Now it is a performance thing. Yeah, performance. Words and horsepower. None of which we have right now. Alright. Let's do this. Structural wheelbarrow still in place. Where went my mirror? How do they do this in the movies? So here's our test drive of our 1982 Ford Thunderbird that's been sitting for 5 or 6 years. Got her running here. Let's see if we can roast off some tires.
Woo! Hell yeah!
That's what we're talking about. Alright. Is that a piece of tire? Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Junkyard Digs. We're going to head home, see if we can get those brakes working, see if we can find a title for this car, and see if it's a good daily. Don't know. Can't beat the price of free though. So, we will see you guys next time here on the Junkyard Digs channel, the leader in revivals. Make sure you subscribe to all my friends, Mook, Junkyard Garage, Thunderhead 289, Dylan, McCool, Classic Mustangs 429, Cars and Cameras, Deboss Garage. All those great guys out there that are there to help teach you about cars and entertain you when you don't have them to work on yourself. So, we'll see you next time here on Junkyard Digs. Peace. Oops.
That was...
Sorry, Ames. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Kids, don't follow his example.
With anything.